Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Report. Man, that was a tough loss, no doubt about it. We can find reasons why we lost that game. You know, we could say the officials, because I got to be honest, there were a lot of bad calls or no calls in that game. There was a lot of holding that went on with their offensive linemen, even in the last play that weren't called, but that kind of went both ways. We could talk about some of the play calling that was kind of questionable. When we spiked the ball there, leaving time on the clock, and instead of trying to run the ball and keep the clock rolling or make Green Bay use their timeouts, we ended up passing. We kind of fell back into that old mode of pass first, pass first. We could blame the defense for not being able to stop them. You score 31 points, you should win the game. We could blame Doug Free on 3 penalties in the fourth quarter, or two, however many it was, or that. We could blame Bryce Butler on a call I've never heard of before. 12 men in the huddle, unsportsmanlike conduct. We could even go back on the pass interference that, in my mind, the ball hadn't left Aaron Rodgers' hand. Wouldn't that have been illegal contact? The ball was definitely uncatchable, but instead it's pass interference. There's a lot of things that we could blame for that. And all the talking heads out there are saying, this season for the Dallas Cowboys was a failure. They were a Super Bowl favorite, and they lost in the first round. Yeah, but if you looked at it from the standpoint of the beginning of the season, they weren't a Super Bowl favorite. I believe Carolina and Denver were Super Bowl favorites, weren't they? Two teams that didn't even make the playoffs. Now, that I could say, after being the Super Bowl last year and not making the playoffs this year, I could say that would be a failure. But to take a franchise quarterback and lose him in training camp, yet you go through and win 13 games with a rookie quarterback, that's not a failure. You think getting two incredible players in Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott, already the awards are coming in, NFC East Players of the Year, co-players of the year, and don't be surprised if you see a lot of that co-MVPs this year between the two of them, because they're Siamese twins, as I say. They're joined at the hip. You can't have one without the other. When they looked at our draft, they said that it was a C, one of the worst drafts in the NFL, yet it ended up being great. So don't let people tell you that this season was a failure. We had some mistakes and brain farts yesterday, and quite frankly, Aaron Rodgers is playing out of his mind. Aaron Rodgers was running for his life and making plays, and his receivers were catching. Sometimes it's just how the ball bounces. The literally Sean Lee, who is not really a coverage person, is down there on the end zone. His arms are right here. That ball literally came within inches of hitting him on the shoulder pad. That could have been the difference in the game. We started out slow. They were prepared for us. We weren't. That's football. There are upsets. There are games that you coulda, woulda, shoulda won. But to say that this season's a failure, nah. I dare say that this is going to be one of those situations like in 91 when we lost to the Lions that will make this better. I'm going to take the different approach than most of the other YouTubers out there because a lot of them are just angry. They're looking for blame. They're looking for their pound of flesh. No, we can't change it. We're going to put the 2016 season to bed. We're going to move on. And what we're going to start doing here on the Joe Boo Report is figuring out what this team needs to take that next level. You've got the triplets. You've got the offense that averaged over 25 points a game. The defense has improved steadily since 2013. We just have to figure out what will take us from being that really good team to being the best team consistently. And I'm going to start working on that today. The season's over. It's time to do the autopsy. And I'm going to be bringing you videos of ways that we can make this Dallas Cowboy team even better. In my mind, I already have the first piece. And you'll be hearing about that from me later on today. We're going to be okay, friends. We are really going to be okay. This Dallas Cowboy team, regardless of the garbage you hear from those guys out there, they're going to be scared. You look at what we have, what we've been building, we are going to be a force to reckon with. A force that is awakening. I'm Mark Holmes, Cowboy Joe Boo, and thank you guys for watching, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Report.